Hey, come on in, guys. Come on in. How are you all doing? How are you all doing this evening? Let me wait a little bit. Let Instagram tell you all that class is in session, right? Let Instagram tell you all that class is in session. Hey, Jess. Let Instagram tell you all that class is in session, all right? Let me go and tell you all that class is in session. Hold up, let me see. All right, just telling a few people that I'm on. Hey guys, thank you so much for jumping on this evening. So, hey, yes, you are here. Let's go. For those of you that's just jumping on and you don't know who I am, because somebody may have shared this live with you. You may be watching it on the replay. My name is Melissa the life coach. I am a certified life coach. I focus on really helping women who are feeling stuck, overwhelmed, uncertain, unsure, feeling as though you are alone. And I'm here to help you with some tips and tools and strategies to shift your mindset, to find your purpose, but to thrive. Not just about surviving, but about thriving. And COVID is happening. A lot of things are happening. A lot of persons are feeling overwhelmed. And you don't want to talk about it. A lot of people don't want to talk about feeling overwhelmed because, you want to be busy and you want to be, always having something to do, because you don't want people to think that nothing is going on for you. But a lot of people are so overwhelmed right now. Hey Mallory, thank you, girl. So a lot of people are so overwhelmed right now and you are not sure. So a lot of us are plagued with overwhelmed, with feeling beat, with feeling tired, with feeling burnt out, with feeling as though we have no structure. So today we're going to be talking about some tips to help you feel calmer, to feel relaxed, to feel as though you have a structure to your life. You will be getting in this live class today a structure to help you to eliminate, minimize, reduce overwhelm, burnt out. Like, life is happening. We have a family. We have things that's going on. Or jobs. The support is not there because you want to feel as though you are doing some things and nobody wants to stop. Like, nobody wants to stop. And many people don't even want to admit that they're burnt out. It's like taboo to talk about that you're tired, that you're burnt out, that you're feeling beaten down, you're feeling overwhelmed. And when you don't talk about it, you feel alone. Like, you feel as though you are the only one going through it. If you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling exhausted, like, let me know in the comments. Share this live with somebody so that they can also benefit from what we're talking about today, like the live. There is the heart right down to the right hand side. Like up the live, guys, and ensure that we're sharing it with somebody. You're watching on the replay. We're going to be going ahead and you're going to let me know where you're tuning in from when you're watching from the replay. You're going to let me know how is it, which of these tips that I'm sharing really resonate with you, and what it is that you're going to be doing to help reduce the overwhelm. Now, if you don't see me looking at the camera, I have some notes here and I'm using my computer, so you're gonna see me reading something now and again. But I want us to be talking. I want you to leave this class this evening, this live class this evening, knowing that you are not alone. There are steps in place, there's a process, there's a structure that you can implement to get you to where you need to be. Now, when you're overwhelmed, it seems as though you're always procrastinating. Why? Because you have so many things to do. When you look at all that you have to do, when you look at everything that you have to do, you go to work. So there's a 9 to 5 that you have, and you need the money. You need the money. And then you're trying to build a business. Now, you may start a project at work, and guess what? There are things that you can delegate to other people, and you don't. Why? Because you don't want people to say anything about you, or you're giving your work to somebody else. So you take on all these things, and then you begin to procrastinate. You begin to procrastinate on things that are so important and urgent for you to do. Guess what happens, guys? Whenever you start procrastinating, you begin to feel even more overwhelmed, because that's how the mind works. Your mind is telling you that, oh, I have something to do and I'm not doing it. But right now you are doing something, but you could be going through and organizing your life. Overwhelm leads to stress, it leads to depression, and it leads to procrastination, and it literally drives a wedge between you and your family. Because when you leave out in the mornings and you go to work, there's a lot of things that you have to do, and you want to ensure that, okay, you're showing up for work, you're showing up for all of these different projects that you have to do. You're even creating things to do at work. So work is important, and you want to be at work. But then when you get home, you are depleted. You are tired, you are stressed out, you can't cook, you shout at the kids, you don't want to talk to your partner because you are feeling stressed. You are feeling burnt out, you are feeling tired, you are feeling as though you are the only one doing everything for everybody except you. So I want, after this class today, that you apply even one of these 6 steps that we're going to be going through to help you manage overwhelm while you have that 9 to 5. You're either starting a business or just to help you with your family life. You just need some help with your family life. Like right now, homegirl needs something, like somebody to cook the food, like somebody to clean the house, somebody to do something, because you're important. Hey, Baskets of Love, thanks for jumping on. You are important. You are absolutely important, and you want to take care of you too. There are times that you feel burnt out, you feel stressed, you feel tired, you feel as though you are just existing, and you're scared to share that with anybody. And one of the things that happens when you're not talking about how you are feeling and how others may be able to help you is that you're going to continue feeling stressed. You're going to continue feeling overwhelmed, and you're going to continue feeling burnt out. And there are things that you're going to be putting on the back burner, and in your mind you're thinking about these things, and guess what happens? You're going to continue feeling overwhelmed and stressed. So it's like a cycle that keeps happening. And when you're on the job, nobody's sharing. You may share with a peer, because I am in corporate. I am talking from a place of experience. I have a 9 to 5 job. I am building my coaching business online because I have a family. So I understand being stressed. I remember being so stressed out even before I started my business that I had breakouts. Like I have a filter on now, but I had breakout. Like you'd see the breakouts. I had breakouts in my face. Like I was just breaking out. Hey, here's by Jay. Yeah, so I was breaking out. I was overweight, and it doesn't matter what I did, I couldn't lose the weight. Like I couldn't lose the weight. At one point, I thought I was slim, and when I went to the doctor, they said I was obese. I'm like, obese? Isn't that a little harsh, doc? Like I know I'm a little bit overweight, but obese, like So I was at risk, and I was obese. So when you are overwhelmed, you're not able to take care of you properly. You're not able to think properly, and you're not able to do the things that you are supposed to be doing. So I want today, as we talk about how to manage overwhelm with your 9 to 5 or with your family, to get even a semblance of what looks like a work-life balance, you are going to apply any of these 6 steps that we're going to be talking about today. Hey Tammy, thank you for jumping on. Judith, I was like, here's by Jay, I couldn't remember Judith's name. Yeah, so it is important that whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, that as well, it shows up in you not being there for your family, because you get so depleted at work. You go to work and you're thinking that, okay, I need this money, I need this job, so you put everything into it. And nothing is wrong if you're putting everything in your job, nothing is wrong, but there must be a balance, at least an attempt at a balance. Because when you get home, you're running away the kids can't talk to you. Remember, they have not spoken to you all day, they just need a little bit of attention. Your spouse can't talk to you, you get upset, you feel irritable, and it's all because you're tired. Your brain is not functioning properly, and you're not able to get the love and the support that your family can give you when you're feeling this type of way. And mainly, like as women, and I'm going to say black women because I only know a lot of black women, we don't want to talk about these things. We'll say, oh, we're tired. But really to say, you know what, we're overwhelmed, or this is too much. We find ourselves taking more on. We take on more things at work. Our boss gives us another project, and we're not confident enough. And in this, every week I'm going live. Every week I'm going live. And I believe next week I'm going to talk about how to show up confidently as women. Because most times we're not confident enough to show up and say to somebody that, okay, you know what? This is what I have dealing with now. This is it. Can you give it to somebody else? Like I asked my manager if they can give the job to somebody else. So they may not know exactly what you're doing or everything that you are doing. So speaking confidently, showing up confidently is so important for your mental space, so that you are not running your family away. You are not dismissing your friends, so that it's going to feel like you're alone. It's going to feel that you're alone. So I'm going to go through 6 steps, and you can take baby steps. I'm going to go through 6 steps in this live training today that you can implement to help manage the overwhelm. Over time, you are going to do this over time. If you are ready, put a 1 in the chat if you are ready for number 1. Are you somebody that needs help with managing overwhelm? Do you think that you're even overwhelmed? Are you comfortable saying, you know what, I am overwhelmed? I am overwhelmed. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And you don't feel as though, oh, it's a negative thing, or it doesn't feel unpleasant to say. We need to admit, like, whenever something negative comes to your mind, admit it so that you can address it. If you shun it, it's going to just be there and it's going to plague you. So you're going to continue feeling burnt out because everybody thinks you're a superwoman or a superman. So you're always going to be the person, oh, you need this to do? Ask Jordan to do it. Jordan does things well. Jordan have 10 things to do already. Ask Baskets of Love to do it. She can do it. She's great at multitasking. No, you have a lot dealing with. So when you can confidently communicate what you're doing, and it's not that you're running away from the work, but it is a lot, and you have other things to do. You can't leave work at 5 or 6. You can't leave. Why? You have to stay at work until 10 o'clock in the night. And when you go home, like your family is either sleeping, and then you're leaving early in the morning, your kids don't know you. Overwhelm cause all of these things, guys. And on weekends, you don't get enough time. So, let me go to number 1. If you're identifying any of these, you know what is happening when you're overwhelmed? It's telling you that it's time to make a change in your life. It is. Whenever you feel overwhelmed and burnt out, your body is saying it's time to make a change. That's what your body is telling you. It is time to make a change. So, these are some strategies that I have here that can help you to diminish being overwhelmed. That's you, right, Tammy? Yes. Help you to diminish the feelings of overwhelm so that you can focus on some work, some life, and a semblance of balance without losing you. Think about all the things that you do. What if you're not here? Who would do it? Authentic life style coaches say confidently communicating your feelings is important to help with overwhelm. It is absolutely important, because if you are not talking, who is going to talk for you? Even in your family, if every day you have to get up and cook for your grown kids or your grown spouse, and you are the only one, like everybody gets up and watches TV and you're the only one having to do it, then a family meeting is needed. A family meeting is needed. We may need to go ahead and talk about how we're going to divide and conquer these tasks, because you can't work 7 days a week. You're going to be burnt out, and then you have so many ailments in your body, so many sicknesses that can't get better because your body is not replenishing. You have to know how and when to stop. Stop and breathe. Stop and breathe. So number one strategy I have here is stop what you're doing for a few minutes. And Jordan alluded to it. Stop what you're doing for a few minutes and take a break. Some of us, we don't feel as though we can take a break. We're always having to do something, and it's not healthy. You're not lazy if you take a break. You're lazy if you don't do anything at all. Alright, if you're always sleeping, you don't go to work, you just want to get up and eat, that's lazy. But if you're working, you should be able to treat yourself. You may not be able to go and buy something nice today, but that's not only it. Stop what you're doing, guys, and take a break. Breathe. Breathe. Go for a short walk. You don't need to go with anybody. Go outside. Sit on your back porch. Just take some time and breathe. Because if you're always moving, your brain is always working. Your brain is tired and your body is tired. You need to take a break so that you can assess what's going on and you can think properly. If you are somebody that does their best work when you're stressed and depressed and burnt out, something is wrong with you. Jordan says, when you come back, the same work is going to be there. Listen, I'll share with you. I was ill and I was out of my corporate job for 1 full month. You see, when I went back, it's like I never left. The client wanted what they wanted. The agents wanted what they wanted. My manager wanted what they wanted. And everybody wanted their pound of flesh. Everybody wanted their pound of flesh. So it is so important that you take some time for you. The same work is going to be there. So you need to take some time and breathe. A lot of people say, oh, I can't meditate. If you can't meditate, just take some time for yourself, guys. It's so important, and I can't stress it enough. If you're thinking that I'm the only one that is feeling this way, it's because we don't talk about it. We are not at the stage where we want to go ahead and be vulnerable to somebody and say, you know what, this is how I'm feeling, because everybody judge. Everyone is judging somebody. You don't want to feel judged, but be vulnerable. If you need help, ask for it. Life coach Jordan is here. She had an amazing live today, because a lot of persons, it was about widows, and people will lose their spouses and they don't want to talk about it, and that's fine. But if you're able to talk to somebody who has gone through it, that is absolutely important as well. Talk to a friend, get a coach, write, find a pen pal, find somebody, but take a break. Jordan said, I used to get up from my desk and go to the restroom and close the door. Yes, I would lock my door. I'd lock my door. When they come to the door, I tell them I'm in a meeting. Tell them I'm busy. Come back 5 minutes. You have to take time for you guys. In your family, take time for you. You might say, oh, Melissa, you don't know. But as I shared earlier, I have a 9 to 5. I have a demanding 9 to 5. Demanding 9 to 5. I have a family that I'm taking care of. I have a business that I'm building. So I do, like, this week was so busy. At one point I was like, I only posted on Instagram one time today. Are you really building a business? But I was so swamped, and I still had to say, you know what, I'm getting up from my computer and I'm going to take 5 minutes for myself. So it is important. Number 2. So guys, what we're talking, for those of you that's just joining, we're talking about steps to help you manage overwhelm when you're in your 9 to 5, building a business, or just have a family. It's happening right now where the pandemic is going on, and guess what? We're at home most times. We're with our family and we realize that we're doing more. We're doing more. The time that some of us would take to commute, we're working. So it is so important that we take a break. Judy says, how can I take a break from work when I work from home? Currently I'm working from home. And this, I'm going to talk about step 2. And this is what may help you, Judy, with managing that overwhelm. So step 2, get a piece of paper. Make 2 columns. Practical steps. I'm talking about practical things. Get a piece of paper, and you're going to make 2 columns on that paper. And 1 column, you're going to list the things that are urgent that you may be able to do within the week. And the other column are things that you can delegate to other people. You may be able to give other persons things to do. So it may be that, okay, you're thinking that I'm at home and I have to be the one that cooks. Why somebody else don't cook? Why don't you buy some food? Why don't you find an alternate? Why don't you, plan your meals so you don't have to be cooking every day? You cook today and that meal serves for another day. Like, find different ways and not excuses. Because what you're thinking about is your mental health. So when you're working from home, Judith, you are now in a position where you're going to look at everything that you have to do for that day. Sometimes we're busy being busy, Sometimes we're busy just being busy. If you know what I mean. Like, you're not productive. You may just be doing everything. Sometimes we're here and we're scrolling on social media. That 5 minutes, go and take a break. We're talking to somebody. We don't need to talk to them. I am prioritizing me right now because I need every single second. So you're going to know, find a way to not be busy being busy. But if you're busy, you're being productive. Yeah, you're running around in circles. You're saying, oh, I have to do this. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. So you're looking at your list and you're saying, okay, these are the things that I have to do this week. I know Judith does here. Like, listen, guys, this is a braided wig I have on. Like, if you watch my stories this week, I ain't got on any hair. So this is a braided wig. And Judith, here's by Jade, did this wig for me. I met her on Instagram. I don't know her from I cannot paint. I don't know her. I saw somebody posted her and I decided that okay, I'm going to invest. And she is an amazing soul. And she did this braided wig for me, and she's in Jamaica. She's an amazing human being. I absolutely appreciate her. So it's a wig, guys. So we are running around in circles. We need to prioritize. Yes, prioritize. It is so important. And there are times that we think, even at work, in your 9 to 5, you feel as though, oh, you don't want the boss to say that you're not doing your job, so you don't delegate. Delegate. I think based on my role, if I did everything, like I would crash and burn. And then you'll be overwhelmed. I would have breakouts in my face that I had years ago. I would be absolutely overweight. I remember you couldn't see my neck. I was overweight, and it's because, well, the doctor said I was obese, but you know what we're talking about here. So it is important, guys. All right. Number 3. Get organized by unsubscribing to things that no longer serves you. You don't need to go to that friend's party that they invited you to. You don't need to go to dinner. You don't need to have clutter where clutter don't need to be. So you need to declutter your life. You need to be comfortable saying no. And be comfortable saying, I can't be there. If you don't want to say no, I can't do that right now. I have a few things that I prioritize this week, and this just does not fit in. You don't have to run to everything. You absolutely don't. Some of us are not comfortable saying no because we're afraid of what people might say. Listen, Beyonce is famous and people talk about her so often. Negative things. J-Lo is absolutely beautiful and people talk about her, they drag her. Like, people are going to talk. So you need to be comfortable saying no. Saying, this, I can't do this right now. I have a few things that I was doing before. I have a few things planned and I can't take this up right now. A friend invited to a birthday party. Yeah, when did she know that she was going to have the birthday? When did she decide to invite you? It can't be last minute. So you can't be just jumping on last minute things and then you leave things that you had to do. Then you start procrastinating and then you're going to feel even more overwhelmed, crushed, burnt out. You can't serve your family and you can't serve yourself. And then you know what happens? You start feeling depressed. You're going to start feeling stuck, like nothing is happening for you, even though you're doing so many things. You're going to feel stuck because you said, I'm doing so many things, but it seems like nothing is happening for me. Yeah, you're moving, you're going, but nothing is happening for you. Why? Because you're really not doing anything. Dr. Amara says, I was so overwhelmed. Yes, your overwhelm was overwhelmed. It happens. It absolutely happens, guys. When you're overwhelmed, being overwhelmed, like talk truth. These are the things that happen. But you are able to manage. You're able to manage, and it's going to take practice. A lot of people can't say no. A lot of people, you just can't say no. But guess what? People say no to you all the time. You need to delegate something. You need to take a break and give somebody else something to do. They say no because you end up doing it yourself. And again, you are feeling overwhelmed and hurt. Now, number 4, if you're ready for number 4, drop a 4 in the chat. And let's talk about number 4. I'm going through 6 applicable, 6 strategies that you can use to manage your overwhelm, to manage overwhelm when you're going through your 9 to 5, that you're going through your regular day life, that you're building a business on the side. You need to be able to comfortably practice these steps. And I say practice because not just when you jump out of this live class, it's going to become natural, especially if you're somebody that does not practice these steps. It is so important that you do. Think about, and I think life coach Jordan mentioned it, all the work that you're doing, if you don't do it, it's not going to get done. Like, nobody is going to do it. Like, let me know. It's going to get done. As I told you, I was out of work for 1 whole month, and I know that my work was being done. When I went back, I just fall right into place. And everybody wanted their pound of flesh. Somebody said I'm throwing words at her, but it's the truth. It is the truth, guys. You see, in an effort to manage overwhelm or manage anything that's happening in your life, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work, guys. You have to put in the work. So, number 4. When I wrote this, I was like, a lot of us are afraid to talk about how we're feeling. We don't want to be negative towards anyone, but a lot of us spend time with people that are absolutely negative and draining. Stop spending time around people that drains the energy that you don't even have. Stop spending time around negative people. I remember I was asked to speak on a platform once, and somebody said, so what if they live in your home? And I said, you know what? Find some time to spend in your room. Spend as much time away from them as possible. No one wants to say that John Brown is negative. Now, in this realm, or in this scenario, I should say, you are now going to have to really dig deep, and practice some gratitude and find some things in this person that you like. But you can't put your energy at risk. You can't put yourself, your thought, like you are managing work, you're managing home, you're managing a business that you may be building, and managing negative energy. You don't like the negative energy. There are qualities in the person that you don't like, but you feel as though, oh, I don't want to say it to the person. So you feel as though you're forced. This is when your overwhelm is overwhelmed. You understand? Dr. Mariah spoke about it earlier. She mentioned it. This is when your overwhelm is overwhelmed. Because now you're putting yourself in a situation that you're draining. Like, negative people drain your energy. So this is going to cause you to feel even more burnt out. This is going to cause you to feel even more stressed because you are around negative people. Negative people drain your energy. And if you're somebody that wants to manage overwhelm, that wants to get to your next level, that wants to improve yourself, being around negative people won't help. So it is now, you are going to, and you know you best. What are some of the things that you can do? That may be another class. But what are some of the things that you can do to manage, being around negative people? But somebody have to talk. Like, again, this comes into confidence. Guys, I hope you show up for next week live. We're going to be talking about how to show up confidently as women. It's so important because sometimes we don't want to talk and we don't want to come across rude, but we can come across respectful. Negative people are really the enemy cutting off who he knows you can be. Yes, it blocks you. Negative people block your energy because now you feel depressed, you feel down, you feel stressed, you don't want to do any work. You go home, if these persons are not in your home, you go home and you are so negative to your family, you shun them, or you don't have time to build your business how it should be built. So then your overwhelm is overwhelmed and the enemy wins. the enemy wins. So there are going to be tactics that you're going to use to combat that. But in the scenario of managing overwhelm, guys, you are going to have to cut them off. Yeah, cut them off. With a family friend, if they're negative, then they're not supporting you. They're not supporting you. So that can't work. It's intentional. Sometimes we don't even know it because he knows us better than we know ourselves. It's important that we know ourselves and we find ourselves in God. We find ourselves in God. That's where we find ourselves. We find ourselves in God. Like if you're Googling who does God say I am, just Google it. You're not sure. I'm not sending you to go and search the Bible leaf by leaf. Just go to Google and say, who does God say I am? And start speaking those things over yourself. Because the enemy who is coming to kill, steal, and destroy everything that you have will ensure that these negative people become constant in your life. And if you give energy to negative people, you know what is going to happen? You are now going to become even more overwhelmed, even more stressed. Like me, the doctor is going to tell you that you're obese. And you say, doctor, what you mean? Like, I think the doctor was so rude to tell me that I am obese. But I was. All right? Now, number 5. Number 5, you're going to decide. A lot of us don't want to make decisions. If you like to make decisions, put a 1 in the chat. If you like to make decisions, put a 1 in the chat. A lot of people don't want to make decisions. Why? We don't want to be the one that, did it. We don't want to be the one that said, or if something goes wrong, we don't want to be the one that is at fault. A lot of people don't like to make decisions. But when it comes to your life, yes, Stephanie, it burned me bad. It burned me. Like, I know I was a little bit overweight, but I didn't think that I was, obese. But yeah, that was in the past. Like, I couldn't even see my neck. Well, I can't see my neck now. I can't see my neck. So yeah, Vern says that she likes to make. Yes, it's good. We need to make decisions. It's not easy to make a decision, especially if you're going to have to be consistent with it. And then in your mind, you're thinking, oh, what if this don't work? Or what if this doesn't happen? Or, the what ifs that are always coming up negatively. But it's important for you to make a decision if you want a semblance of a balanced life. You have to make decisions to allow things to happen. I am going to make a decision that when I leave this life, I am going to make that list. I'm going to get that piece of paper and I'm going to write down the things that I have to do this week that are important and that I don't need to do in one day. I can do it this week. And I'm going to also write down the things that I can give to somebody else to do. I don't need to rush to do these things because I can say, you know what? I may need to have a family meeting. Have a family meeting, guys. If it's you and your child alone or you and your spouse, you should be able to confidently have a discussion that you can say, you know what, it may be your time to wash the dishes. After I cook, somebody else wash the dishes. Somebody else clean up. You don't have to feel that, oh, you cooked, you got to clean up, you got to wash the dishes, then you got to, clean the house and prepare for dinner for the next day. So it's going to be you making that decision and having that conversation. And your family may be surprised. Like, who are you? Who is this person? It's the first time this happening. This has never happened. I've been married to you for, years. But it's going to be time for change. Because as I said earlier, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling burnt out, when you're feeling tired, when you're feeling as if you are the only one going through this and nobody understands, your body is sending you a signal that it's time to make a change. It's time to make a change. All right? So take some time, plan out what you have to do and implement it. Plan out what you have to do and implement it, but you're going to have to make a decision. Number 6 and the very last one. Number 6. Listen, we're going through 6 steps in this live class today, talking about how to manage overwhelm when you have a 9 to 5, a business, you're growing your business, or you are full-fledged in your business, and you also have a family. How do you manage both? How do you manage both, or all three? Some of us managing all three. We have a 9 to 5. We have a business that we're starting because we want an additional source of income. We have a family, and the family may include a young child that we can't delegate anything to. So what are some of the things out of these 6 steps that you are going to implement, even one, to help you with your overwhelm? If you have a young child and the child is sleeping, take 5 minutes and sleep too. Take 5 minutes and sleep. But no, Melissa, I can't sleep because I have so many things to do. It will be there. After you get up, it will be there. But you can't be burnt out, guys. You can't continue. You can't continue to be burnt out. So number 6, take an action step today. And that's what I was getting to. Take an action step today. Out of all these things, make a decision. Take action. The action takers of today are the millionaires of tomorrow. Yeah. Take an action step today to make a decision to change your life. Yes. You can, 1, call a friend to support you. 2, hire a coach. Now in my role, I support women who are feeling overwhelmed, lacking confidence, lack structure. I help you with tips, tools, strategies to shift the mindset that you have and to get unstuck and to reduce overwhelm. But you must take action. You must take action. You must take action. There are so many coaches online. Like, I have some amazing people in my network. You have Authentic Lifestyle Coaching. You have Life Coach Jordan. If you're a mom, if you are a mom right now and you don't know how to parent during COVID, then we have Progressive Mindset that is also on this live that can help you. You are able to reach out to anyone. You have support. My job is to be the person that I needed when I was growing up. I didn't know about coaching. I didn't know when I was stuck. When I shared on a live that I had my son when I was 16 years old, I didn't even know what to do. I knew nothing. I was a teenage mom. My mom wasn't with me. I had to go through life and I had to learn. Thank God for the support that I had to provide some guidance to me. That wasn't my mom, wasn't my aunt, wasn't my uncle, wasn't, family, but I had support. I was in the church, but they weren't there 24/7. When I go home, I was alone. So you have support. You can get support, but a lot of us don't want to reach out for help for many reasons. It may be financial. It may be that you don't feel as though people understand, but a lot of people understand. Coach, I need you. You're one of the best ever. Thank you, Tammy. But it's so important that you take a step. It's so important that you take action. If you don't take action, if you feel as though, okay, I don't want to do a coach now. I went through 5 different steps before step 6, and all of them includes doing something. You must do something, or else you're going to continue feeling overwhelmed. So I am wrapping up right now this live class. Next week we're going to talk about how to show up confidently as women. A lot of us as women, we lack confidence for various reasons. We're afraid of what people might say about us. It might be something from our childhood. Somebody said that, oh, you'll never amount to anything, and it plays in the back of our head, and we see other people showing up and we're saying, oh, I wish I could do that. You can. You can. So next week we're going to be talking about that. But before I jump off, guys, is there any questions for me? You can change my mindset so much. You change my mindset so much. I am thankful and grateful now that I am at a better place. I am so happy to work with you, Tammy. Listen, Tammy is my first student, and I'm so happy to work with her. So any questions, guys? If you're not on my email list, I send emails. I call it group coaching. I share tips and strategies every single week. And for persons who don't open my emails, when they open it, I want them to regret not opening the ones that I sent before. So if you're not on my email list, click the link in my bio and grab any free book. I have a free workbook that speaks up, that helps you to identify your limiting beliefs. I also have an affirmations ebook, because the Bible says speak the things that are not as though they were, and that's the foundation of my belief in affirmations, and I'll continue to speak affirmations over my life. And I really believe in affirmations as a transformational tool that I use with my clients. So you can go ahead, grab that free ebook. You can also book a coaching call with me, free 30 minutes. You need to talk. You want to see, okay, if we're a fit to work together in a coaching program. I have 2 coaching programs. I have a 4-week coaching program, and I also have a 3-month coaching program. So we can talk, free for 30 minutes. The link is in my bio, and I want to help anybody that is ready to do the work. You are ready to do the work. I am ready to work with you. So today's class was really about helping you to manage overwhelm in your 9 to 5, building a business, or whichever tool that keeps your overwhelm being overwhelmed, as Dr. Mariah said earlier. So let me know any questions, put it in the chat box, or you can put it in the comments if you have any questions, or click the link in my bio, book that 30 minutes call, and we can get connected. If there are no questions, your girl gonna be jumping out, and I look forward to seeing you all next week when we're going to talk about showing up confidently as women. You know, we definitely can. It was amazing having you guys. Thank you for riding with your girl for almost an hour. Thank you so much for riding with me. Anyone that has not signed up for your coaching class needs to do so now. Right, Tammy? They need to. Thanks for riding with your girl, guys. And it has been amazing. Always good information. Thanks, Coach Amariah. Thank you, Dr. Amariah. Thank you. Have yourself an amazing Saturday evening, an amazing weekend. And if you can't remember the tips that we covered, or the strategies, and you want to go through the live again, do so. If not, send me a DM. You know, Melissa, what was that again? I have no problem sending you these 6 steps so that you can have it and choose one that will get you overwhelm. Reducing overwhelm. It's been a vibe. Have yourself a great evening. Bye, guys.